Hi, I'm Laura. Thanks for stopping by VideoGamesVlogger.com for my review of Mario Tennis Open. In this review, I will discuss my impression of the story, gameplay, aesthetic, and audio of Mario Tennis Open. I will also reveal what I consider to be the best and worst aspects of the game. Finally, I will give my recommendation of who I think would enjoy this game. Somehow, I've managed to live all these years without playing a Mario Tennis game. After playing Mario Tennis Open for the 3DS, I don't think I'm gonna have any regrets. If I use the word plot very loosely, Mario and the rest of his Mushroom Kingdom friends are invited to participate in the Mushroom Cup tennis tournament. I have to admit that I was immediately disappointed when I started playing Mario Tennis Open, and I realized that my favorite Mushroom Kingdom character, Birdo, was not included in Mario Tennis Open. So I settled on Princess Peach, whose character supposedly relied on technique. All of the characters are labeled with a certain skill, including all-around, power, defense, speed, tricky, and technique. I would have been even more disappointed that out of a roster of 10 playable characters, only 2 are female and both of their skills are technique, which makes them basically the same character. However, after playing with one character of each type of skill, it don't seem to make much of a difference to the gameplay, hardly at all. So basically, each match is the same no matter what character the player plays with or faces in a match. It didn't take me long to realize that any character can be defeated with the same basic court movements. The player always starts serving, and from there the scoring is based on real-world tennis rules. There are basically 2 views for the player to use during a match. By holding the 3DS upright, the camera zooms in right behind the player, and then tilting right or left changes the direction the ball is hidden. By holding the 3DS flat, the camera pans out to give an overview of the court, but cannot control the direction which the ball is hit. On the touchscreen, there are the available types of serves the character can hit the ball with. Each type of serve has a corresponding button or combination of buttons, so using the touchscreen is optional. As the ball is served back by the opponent, certain points of the court called chance areas will light up. Those points are where the strategy of the game comes in, giving the player a chance to execute a supercharged shot. Each of these chance areas also corresponds with the available type of serve a player can perform on the touchscreen or with the buttons. After the first 2 matches in the first tournament, I had totally picked up the game, I had my technique down, I knew how to play with the character I chose, then I waited for the game to start getting challenging. It never did. Whether I was playing against a fast character like Diddy Kong or a power character like Bowser, who was of course the last character in the last tournament, I could use the exact same attack and defense method of playing with nearly identical reactions from all the characters. To be challenged at all, I had to win the first 4 tournament cups and become a star player and move on to the star tournaments. Even then, I didn't really feel that the characters faced had enough of a difference between them to keep the game interesting. As with most Mario games, Mario Tennis Open is colorful and cute. And while the 3D effect actually looks good, it's kind of hard to use while playing because part of the strategy is turning the 3DS right and left, which causes the 3D effect to become completely distorted. One thing that was undeniably freakishly adorable was watching the Boo play tennis with the little stubby arms holding the tennis racket. I don't even know what he was holding the tennis racket with, but it was really cute. Overall, the music in Mario Tennis Open is pretty good, and I especially like the fast-paced, almost 80s pop punk rock music that some of the Ice Flower Cup levels had. Given that more of the gameplay is fairly rinse and repeat, the music interjects a much-needed dose of energy into the game. Whatever small amount of voice acting is in the game is just the same small catchphrases that the characters use in pretty much every single Mario game. My favorite aspect of the game is a mini-game that is a tennis twist on the classic Super Mario Bros. Game. The object of this minigame is hitting the ball against a moving backdrop of the levels inspired by the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES. This minigame, unlike the main game, is extremely challenging, and the different character skills are actually a lot more important. I found that Yoshi was the easiest character to use because his speed is helpful with the timed aspects of the minigame. This minigame starts off challenging, and as the player progresses, new levels of difficulty are unlocked. The worst aspect of this game is how repetitive and easy the main tournament mode of the game is. It's great when a game is easy to figure out, but the need for strategy was completely lost. If I'm winning but not being challenged, I'm not having fun, and that's a major problem. I like to feel like I'm earning my victory. Aside from the single-player tournament mode, there is actually a lot more to Mario Tennis Open. There is both a local and online multiplayer mode in which 4 players can connect online for singles and doubles matches. Doubles can also be played in the single-player mode, which freshens at the tournament for the maximum replayability. The player can also at any time pick a court and an opponent and set up a singles or doubles match outside the tournament in the exhibition mode. Aside from the original Super Mario Bros. Tennis game I mentioned earlier, there are also 3 other special side games. I did like that the developers tried to add variety by giving each character their own strengths and weaknesses, and giving each court its own effect on the gameplay. I wish this aspect of the game had been brought to the forefront and given the game a more unique experience with options, and that would greatly increase the replay value of this game. I recommend this game to young children and people who don't like a lot of challenge in the games. Also, fans of the original NES game will totally get a kick out of the minigame, which could be a full game unto itself. So, do you plan to pick up Mario Tennis Open? If you already own Mario Tennis Open, let me know of your impressions of it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, love and peace from my PC to yours.